be integrating Checkpoint Firewall with the Active Directory. So right now I have a Windows server, but there is nothing configured. So let's go ahead and configure 80 first. There is command called dc promo, and when you run that command, the Active Directory configuration begins. This lab will be time consuming. It takes variety of the steps, so please be tuned. So let's use the advanced mode for the installation, and let's go ahead, create a new domain. So this is my domain for firewallgan.com. So guys, if you have not subscribed my channel, please go ahead and subscribe my channel, because in a I mean in a week I'll be putting a lot of videos. Let's see, firewall can next. So forest level, let's select Windows 2008. So I was saying, within a week, I usually, provide too many videos on a checkpoint firewalls. Not too many, but at least 3-4 videos on checkpoint firewall, and those videos are more in depth look for the checkpoint firewall. So try to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon, so whatever the latestly upload video will come to you as soon as I upload them. Select the additional option for this domain controller, DNS server. Do we want it as a DNS server? For now, we don't want. Let's click next. You have chosen not to install DNS server on this domain controller, but your existing environment does not provide DNS server support for this domain name. DNS support required for directory to function properly. Do you want to continue installation of the service? Let's go ahead and select the DNS server, and then yes, the computer will dynamically assign the IP address. Not recommended. No, I will assign static IP address to all the physical interface. That is fine. Next. Delegation for the DNS server cannot be created because the authoritative parent zone cannot be found, or it does not run the Windows DNS server. Would you want to continue? That is fine. Let's give it a password here. Let's reboot it once it's got complete. And maybe it's okay. The wizard is configuring Active Directory domain services. This process takes from a few minutes to several hours. on your environment, and depending on your environment and the options that you selected. Okay. Okay, it's finished. Completing the Active Directory domain service installation wizard. Let's restart. So the domain control things come to us. I mean, come in, and we can log in from there. So applying setting is kind of time consuming, but once it's done, then we have will be having the AD in place. Okay, the setting got applied. Let me jump inside. So now we are using the password which we have created. Okay. So it took the earlier password which was I was having. This the domain name was there. Now we need to find the CN name, and for that let's go to the command line. Okay. Now let's run the command ds query user name administrator. So we need to note down this string. This is important. Let me see if I am I'm able to catch this, or we'll take a screenshot of it. Let's better take a screenshot of it. And we'll be using same during the checkpoint dashboard configuration. So for now, we are good from the AD perspective. Now let's go to the smart dashboard and let's see what we can deliver from there. I'm just logging to the smart dashboard. Let me give it username and password. Okay. So let's do these steps first. Let's go to the global properties, and here we have user directory, and let's, so it's already got enabled, enable the password change and everything. So here, if you like, you can select the password requirements or whatsoever you want. For now, it's okay. Now we are going to create one object uh, having the AD details in place. So for that, I just want the IP address of my AD. So we will have in the object for that. If I go to the CLI, IP config. It's kind of slow. So it's 1.20. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and create one host. Give it the name 80 192.168 1.20 is the IP address. If I'm not putting the wrong details here, it's a 1.20. Due to IP 192.168.1.20. And if you like, you can give it a command AD server. Click OK. Multiple objects have the same name, which is fine. for now. Let's delete the older one. 192. Yeah, this guy. So to use in a policy 4, number 4, and here let's remove it from there for now. And okay, just add the new one. 80. This guy. All right. Uh, Next step is we need to create and choose. I mean, we need to have the server and OPSEC application, and over there we need to define all these details. For that, if you see here new, come here, see more, and you should see something like server and OPSEC, new object, more logical VPNs, domains, logical servers, group, user check. Okay, that is fine. Let's see if we can get. This is the server trusted CA. Here we can see one CA. Let me try to edit this. Yeah, this is the internal CA what we have. I think this will survive the purpose. Like we have one internal CA here. Let me change the color. Now let's go to the new network object, more user identity. So now the details are present in user identity. Here you have to select LDAP account unit, and here you have to provide the details for your LDAP account. So I am giving like active directory account unit. Let's change the color to orange. As we have the Microsoft 80, that's why I have given the name Microsoft 80. And domain name, the one we have configured, firewallgan.com. Let's select these three options. Let's talk on this later. Let's go to the server. Server properties. So let's say add the server. This one is the 80. The port is 389. We all know. Let's give it a username as administrator. Make sure you will provide the correct details here, because if you miss anything here or do the misspelling also, it will not work. So this is sensitive step administrator, and remember we capture this screenshot. So this CN administrator, these details we need to put there on the login DN. So let me copy paste and let me write it down better. So it's CN equal to administrator uh, comma CN equals to users comma DC equals to firewall GAN and comma DC equal to com. I hope I haven't done any spelling mistakes. Let's cross check it. C1 equal to administrator, CN equal to users, DC equal to firewall GAN, DC equal to com. Okay, and remember you have given some username and password while creating this DN. So I'm just putting that username and password. I'm just putting that password here. Let's have default priority 1 and read data from the server, write data to the server and click OK. Now let's go to the object management and click these branches. So hope the data will retrieve. Okay, the server is got connected to your firewall. This is the proof. So this is something for the secure communication covers if authentication failed, establish a clear communication, like that things. Prompt what a password, opening this account, and authentication. So use common group path queries, all out authentication schemas, all the schemas is okay. And encryption. So if your AD server is not set up for encryption, then you don't have to select this path, right? We don't have the AD configuration selected for the encryption, that's why we are not selecting this. In part 1 video we have covered how to integrate Active Directory with the smart dashboard. In that video I was searching the old options where we were able to see the OPSEC and server application, and from there we are able to see the whatever the configuration we have in AD for the users and groups. However, that is not here with the latest R81.10 Gaia OS. Uh, so that is converted into the other section when we create the user-defined rules. We will see those details over there. So that is an improvement. However, now let's proceed with the second part. In this part, I'm trying to enable the identity awareness feature. So when you double click to your cluster object or a gateway object, there is something called identity awareness. Yeah. Once you click that, you will be having the options like select the how the user will identify for, from the security gateways. So depending on your environment, like based on the browser-based authentication, the captive portal option or terminal servers, when you have applications like Citrix configured, you have this flexibility. Right now, we have the AD configuration. That's why we are selecting AD query. The gateway seamlessly identify Active Directory users and computers. And then you have to select next, and it will give you the fetch the username and the password what you have set up. I think it should take correct password, or we need to have here. Let's try to say connect. bad username and password. That's what I have expected. So this is a scope of improvement checkpoint, that you don't have to provide the password here. Let's connect now. Awesome. So I have not created any user there, like administrator name. That's why it's giving me an error. I think so. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, let me go to the. Mm, I think let me try this. Let me try changing the password. It's trying. Okay, so my password was incorrect. That's why it's giving me an error. So as you can see, it's got connected. Let me take a screenshot here for my video thumb purpose. Okay, so now successfully connected, which is good. Let's click next. Identity awareness is now active. Identity awareness is now enabled on the gateway cluster 1. Select method to acquiring identity. Active directory query with domain firewall.com, firewallgan.com. Add access role to the security gateway. Install policy. Watch user counters. View logs. These are the steps. Let me finish. Let me click OK. Let's do it. The policy configuration now. I think the purpose of this lab is only with respect to the 80. So that is what I have already configured. Now let's go ahead into the policy and let's see if we can create or add a user policy from here. Basically, I'm looking here to create access roles. So here is the option. Give it a name. For this, I am giving, say, BMZ or whatever you want to give. I just want to give some name which I can remember. Let's see if we add here inside the rule. It's okay. Give it a name like access rule for 80 for now. Then you have to specify the network, specific network if you want, or any. For now, for the lab purpose, have any. Users, if you want to select specific users. See, this was the option I was talking about. So this option we were able to see earlier versions in OPSEC tab, but here we are not seeing that. Let's do one thing. What if we configure the user first? So this lab will be more interactive. Let's go to the 80 here. Give it my it's too slow because of my computer RAM. let's go to the administrator, administrator tools, users, computers. In this domain, we have a lot of things: users, administrators, computers, domain controllers. Let's create a new user group. I don't know how it works, but let's see. Give it a name. My name is Vaibhav. Let me give it a name. Vaibhav. Log on. Just give it the same name. Vaibhav. Password. I don't want user to change password. Okay. Next, finish. So this is done. Let's go back here. Let's specific user, give it my name. Come on. So see that details got fetched. So give it a name like that. Machine will be any machine for now. Remote access client, we don't have anything. So that's it. So access rule is created. These are the services. Accept. Okay. Let me publish this. And let me install policy. Okay. Source column of the rule contain both access rules and network objects. Why? Because the same name, right? So better have this one rule present. But my only communication will allow rest will be fail if that is in the case. But here I have allowed any communication to the gateway, so that will work. I don't want to break my communication, so DNS. I don't think so it will break. Let's see how it goes. Let's install. Excuse me. Policy installation successful. Let's try to log in from this gateway using the other name or the username. Let's go ahead and try this. So my name was Weber, which I have entered. Come on. Come on. Um, it's too slow, guys. Sorry for inconvenience. Okay, so this is the user. Uh, so the permissions need to be given. Member of this. Anyways, let's try to give the permission to the administrator from the checkpoint firewall. So let's edit this access rule. Go to the user. Let's add administrator itself. Policy got installed. Let's go to the logs. And right now, let me just clear the things. So we are seeing these details now. Let's go ahead into the AD and browse something. Let's go to the checkpoint.com. It's taking time, but we should have some logs. Excuse me. Okay, so gateway is dropping that traffic. Let's go to the security policy. AD rule. So here machine is any machine. So we are talking here anything. Users are both. Network is any. What is happening here right now? The AD machine IP address which we have is getting dropped because the policy is not matching that. And when I add the AD ID here, I mean IP here, it gives me error. So let's do this. Same rule I want. And instead of here, I just have the machine. Destination would be any. And we can give it like any. Switch to any. Let me select let me log in. configure identity awareness for AD integration, AD query. Now I'm going to troubleshoot like why instead of all the configuration, why I'm not seeing my username under the source username from the AD. So I just wanted to walk you through. So right now I have logged into the AD with the user name test. So if you see, I have logged in here with the test, and when I try to browse anything here or try to do basic ping command or anything like that, I can browse the thing, but the thing is that it's taking the the different part, different rule. For example, if I come back here and see the logs, I can see the traffic is passing. Okay. Via the source, the machine, but I don't see any username here. So basically, I wanted to see why it's not happening well. Let me go to the gateway and run a couple of commands to show you how the things are there. So there's a command called pdp monitor, and the IP of my machine say 192 168 1.20. This is a AD IP. When I say ensure, I will get the session ID and the details. So I have configured all the machine. The AD query is getting active. The trust is established. We have the distinguished name as well. This is the date, time, everything. So with this, it looks good. If I want to check something with respect to the user, there's a command called pep show user pep pep show user, and it's query to the user. Query to the user and get the name of the user like this. So invalid token use. Okay, it should be user. So I'm trying to hit the query to the user, pep show user, the query, and USR for the user and the username. Let's try it with the different names what I have there. Or the admin filter. So the command gives me this output. Let's try to run with the IP address, same command. One 192.168.1.20. I'm getting some details here. Machine name is already there, user groups, machine groups, compliance, it's not available, identity role, username is also not available. I'm not sure why I am not getting these details because it's already got integrated. So I believe there need to be some sort of hotfix installation required here to resolve this. As you can see, the user configuration is already in place. If I put any user and install the policy, let's see what happens, because it should take the user, but however maybe due to some uh, hotfix requirement or some add-on, it is not taking those user there. Let me quickly install the policy and rerun those commands to see if that works. If it not works, then I think we require a hotfix installation here, because what are the basic configuration we required here, that is delivered from me. However, it's not working. I am suspecting that may be the cause, like a hotfix or anything like that. So still it's not showing me any users with respect to this, although that details is getting fetched and everything is happened, as you guys can see with my previous videos. So when I should run this command, I should see that user details. However, we are not seeing any user details. Yes, and if I run this command pdp connection pip, I can see the outgoing is from the host and its status is connected. So everything I verified. Let's do one more thing here. Let me clear the screen. The status is connected and everything is good. So I think we let's do this one more thing here. MW monitor dash e accept host 192.168.1.20, and you can see the communication is passing on because the integration is already there. I am not running anything here. Let me just close all these things so the things will be clear. Let me go ahead and just rerun the command. As there is integration, that's why we are seeing this communication, right? So for configuration perspective, we all good. We don't have to deliver anything. It's just because of if you see the domain of my AD server is got connected and there is a connection. However, we are only not seeing the if you come here, the username, rest thing is there, so you can see machine name, all the details are there. Only thing is that we are not able to see the username.